Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the digital asset investor, and the XRP Las Vegas tickets are selling fast. Here's a new promo.
XRP Las Vegas 2024, May 3rd and 4th. Fruition Productions will be on stage talking about the XRP Unleashed documentary and premiering an extended preview trailer for their project. Producers will also be interviewing XRP Las Vegas attendees, and you could make it in the final show. Special thanks to all of our sponsors, including Uphold, iTrustCapital, and Ripple. XRP Las Vegas 2024 will be here before you know it. Get your tickets now before this event is sold out.
And look, in the description of this video, I have all the links, but if you're in my DAIXRP.com group, you get a discount on your tickets. It's posted at the very top of the page. Now, we need to talk about Link2, who is my sponsor, before we get going. I got a text this morning. I wanted to go through it. They're doing a Ripple promo today. 24 hours XRP promo beginning at 12 a.m. Pacific time, 3/13. $1,000 XRP for order. You get $1,000 of XRP for orders between $10,000 and $25,000. You get $25,000 of XRP for orders between $25K and $50K. You get $5,000 of XRP for orders $50,000 and over. $500 XRP for each bundle order, which is the 3 companies for $7,500. Applies to Ripple orders only. Rewards are capped at $10,000 of XRP. Now that's a promo, folks, and that's those are to your linked Uphold accounts. Uphold accounts can be linked to your Link2 account. Now, I think that this is a great explanation of the. I mean, I just feel like the Bitcoin thing is just like the hype to get people in the door. But Raoul Pal, who was a Goldman Sachs guy, gives a good talk here about how all of this is happening right now, the psychology of these financial advisors and the process that they're going to go through and where it'll lead.
In these RAAs, that's all that's happening really right now is RAAs. Now, you've got to understand how these RAAs work, and Dan knows them because a whole bunch of investors in his fund. These guys are networks. They're not like brokers get on the phone like buy, sell. They go and have a steak dinner with their best client who talks about this Bitcoin ETF. They're like, I'm not sure. They read Barron's that week. They're like, I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do. They then go and play golf. Their other client talks about it. And eventually, this huge property developer from Cincinnati then sticks in, $5 million into the ETF. This is the process. So it's actually really slow. And we've only just started, and a lot of these people are driven by price.
That's what you said.
If you look at NVIDIA, you see how price feeds on itself. It becomes reflexive. So we've just started. These guys are not traders in the whole. These RIA networks generally talk to their clients about, you should think about an X% allocation. They put an X% allocation, or they mandate it and say, hey, we're going to...
Let me tell you what, folks. When these people who are on those golf courses and all of that, when they see XRP Unleashed, the documentary, for the first time, the mainstream's going to be exposed to the fact it ain't Bitcoin. Never was. And when they do, Lord, let's hope that there's an XRP ETF by then. If there's not, the demand will be created to create one. But I think that that's part of the plan. But let me tell you what, and I've been accumulating XRP for the last month. I think at least the last few weeks. I just made my mind up. The writing's on the wall for me. I'm accumulating as long as it's below $1.
This for you guys, they do it. And then what happens is, Dan and I have seen this all the way through with friends of ours. They start with 1%, and then before you know it, they get up to 5%. And then like, fuck it, we're going to 10%. because they start to understand the power of this thing. So it becomes very reflexive in price action. I've seen family offices. I've got one of the investors in my fund is a big Australian family office. At first, their allocation was 1%. They probably got up to 20% in crypto allocations in the end.
Whoa.
Because, once the principals started to understand it, it just keeps building on itself, and the price action just builds on it. So as Dan said, we're really, really early still. Then there's also these massive platform models like BlackRock, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, that suddenly add it to their asset allocation mix. And those guys control like $1 trillion of assets. So once they do it, it's the same process. It then starts dollar cost averaging in. And, we've seen BlackRock talking about doing that. I don't think it's even started yet. So those massive pools of capital start coming in as well. And we're not talking institutions. None of the institutions are in yet, really. Also, don't forget, the 401k bid in America is another big thing. One of the reasons passive funds have outperformed active portfolios, like the NASDAQ and the S&P, keeps outperforming, is because millennials, every 2 weeks, add to their 401k of this stuff. They can now add Bitcoin into their 401ks. So that becomes a every 2 week bid that goes in perpetuity forever. Now, it doesn't mean it can't go up and down, with the business cycle, but it's a very big structural change that people don't really understand.
During the discussion.
Okay, that was interesting. Now, I didn't just baw more. Let's edit that post. I just bought more XRP. Whoops. Man, it's hard to believe they used to not have the edit button on here. Okay, then we've got this, the total market. Let me hit the old refresh button. Total market cap is at 2.75 trillion. Bitcoin's up over 72,000. XRP is at a little over 68 cents. Now, let's see what everybody's saying about this, because reading between the lines, not being a chart person, they're saying that we're up on above the resistance level. He's color coded to $1.40. What's next? It says 66, 70, 75. What's next? And we hit them all. I'm pretty sure we hit 75. It has to hold 64, 64 and a half cents or 63 and a half or so cents on the weekly time frame. Stay steady. The blast will be fast, but it's not just him. Dark Defender. XRP had breakout yesterday as we expected. In the monthly time frame, it is obvious the move has started. The huge resistance of 66 cents is broken in the daily. This will be confirmed for the weekly and monthly time frames. Our targets are closer now. $1.33 mid resistance, and $1.88 and $5.85. Targets in the upcoming weeks. Expect solid strikes. April will be hot. I like that. That's a thumbnail right there, Dark Defender. Thank you. Have an excellent day. April will be hot. I like that. That is a good little phrase. I like this too. And you know why? Because this is one of my favorite kind of chart people, a Bitcoin maxi type chart guy who's not even into XRP, who said this: expecting 2018 all-time highs to be taken out very soon, before or right after Bitcoin halving. How about that one? So the point is, even the people that potentially have their ideology in the way are now seeing it, and that is a big deal. Check this out. 24 Hours Crypto got himself an X589 tattoo on his hand because he said if Brad Garlinghouse liked a tweet of his that he would get it, and he did. He followed through. Check that out. He was a man of his word, or a X handle of his word. And then we have this. What a sham. Here's Eleanor Terrett. I've been looking further into iChuk. This is the guy who's supposedly wanting to run against John Deaton as a Republican in Massachusetts, who showed up 9 days after John declared. The new pro-blockchain GOPer could be preparing to launch a campaign for Senator Warren's Senate seat. If Cain were to run, he would do so as a moderate Republican, which would put him in direct competition with John Deaton. According to the Boston Globe, Cain registered as a Republican for the first time on February 29th after spending 4 years as an unregistered voter and a registered, almost like he's a plant that's just ready to be activated, and a registered Democrat for around 3 years prior to that. Cain has many Democratic connections. His father, John Cain, is chairman of the Quincy MA Ward 3 Democrat Party, according to the Massachusetts Democrats website. Cain's recent election contributions have all gone to Democrats, including Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey. Here's all the Democrats. He also endorsed Joe Kennedy's Senate campaign in 2020 and appeared in his campaign video. Here's him posing in pictures with Biden and Senator Elizabeth Warren. I think you can add all this up, folks. Then Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, said this: John Deaton's GOP competition led business development for MIT Media Lab funded company. Guess who else funded MIT Media Lab? Yes, sir. That would be the guy that used to have his own island. It's a really tight circle with all these people, isn't it? Then we have this, folks. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want to make this video too long. But I'm going to read this to you. The greatest deception by Western governments is allowing their citizens to buy Bitcoin while the rest of the world buys gold. I'm not even going that far with it. What I'm saying is, there's no question that Bitcoin is a created distraction. In my opinion, it was created by governments in order to siphon a lot of the money that might have hit the exits to physical gold, so that the central banks could get gold on the cheap and hoard it, okay? And I think they want to hoard it because the reset of the system's coming, and the reset is going to be directly tied to gold, not Bitcoin. Do you see any central banks that are proudly saying they're accumulating Bitcoin? No. But at the same time, the U.S. government has a ton of Bitcoin. In fact, you have to wonder if all of the things that happened early in Bitcoin, like the Mt. Gox, the raids, where they confiscated Bitcoin and all that, you have to wonder if that was for this day, so that they held a bunch of it, so that they could manipulate it if necessary. But one thing's for sure, and I'm going to show you in DAIXRP.com. Where we're headed is to a reset. I believe we're headed to what Jim Rickards called ICE 9, where they shut the bank accounts and then they open up and say, well, oh, you're fine. We're going to open back up, but you're going to have to turn your dollars in for CBDCs or a digital dollar. And if you do that, then everything will be fine. And it's for the purpose of control. I believe that, and he said ICE 9 specifically involved BlackRock, who just happens to be the biggest Bitcoin ETF. This is all by design, folks. This is all a plan, and I'm going to show you a video I've never seen before. I found it this morning. I'm going to show you part of it, and then I'll let you go and watch the rest of it in DAIXRP, where Jim Rickards lays it all out. And he literally is giving an urgent economic warning is what he calls it. And he tells you that from his intelligence sources, he's put all this together in the video. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. DAIXRP.com. There's a reason for having COMEX 589. There's a reason for allowing a lot of these banks to manipulate gold and silver for all these years. There's a reason they're doing it to this day, holding the prices down, and there's a reason that all the people around the world are not complaining about it, because they're accumulating while they tell their buddies at CNBC to keep pumping Bitcoin up. All right, here we go.